We, in 2016, decided that we wanted a new nation. And in that decision of a nation, we believed that certain things would be put in place that would strengthen our democratic process to the extent that never again in this country will we suffer in the hands of a dictatorship. And one of the tools to bring this to bear was our Constitution. I'm sure a lot of us here, if not all of us, have heard politicians talk about how many times the former president doctored the Constitution. It is sad that 8 years running, we are still fighting and living under a doctored Constitution by a dictatorship. But the time is now for us to change this.
Constitution We Want Convergence meeting. The operative word is we.
We have successfully transitioned to a democracy in practice, but our democracy is vulnerable, as there exist provisions in our current constitution and other statutes that do not uphold the principle of a democratic society. As a result, the 1997 Constitution cannot guarantee Gambians a sustainable democracy, thus the urgent need for a constitutional reform.
This is perhaps one of the most important exercises to be undertaken by a civil society organization, which aims primarily at nudging governments and government institutions to ratify a constitution that hopefully would show the way not only in this generation, but for generations to come.
The Constitution is broadly a legal document containing the social contract between the state and the people, and it espouses the ideals of all of us, whether you are in Banjul or in Koina.
This Constitution is here to serve everyone, every purpose, and for several years more to come, we'll go to the destination that we really want. Let us do it with optimism that the Constitution that we want will come to the National Assembly, and that the members of the National Assembly will pass it with overwhelming majority. That is what I want to implore everybody to do.
It's not about politics. It's not about what you want and what you don't want. It's not a bi-party. It is about the future of this country, and it's really bordering on embarrassing that we still cannot have a new constitution.
I hope we can use this opportunity once and for all to have a constitution that will stand the test of time. A good constitution will not only guarantee a strong and sustainable democracy, but it will also deter future leaders from becoming autocrats and build a system that is accountable. The draft constitution, to some degree, have given us that legal assurance if we give it a chance.
The political will is needed not just, by word of mouth. We need to see actions.
There are decision makers, there are advocates like us that will just, keep repeating what everybody is saying. But there are people that should move the pen. And those that move the pen are those in parliament, those are the political parties. And for me, like Council Fati recommended, there needs to be that continuous engagement.
I am not a lawyer, but I believe a good constitution must reflect the values of the people. And the values of majority of Gambians is religious. We are religious people. We believe in our religious scriptures. Let us, the sovereignty that we are calling, we have to come to the grassroots and Gambianize our constitution, which must reflect on our values. And our values, we are religious people. You cannot have a secular constitution governing religious people, there'll be a gap. And I know our courts cannot contain that gap.
Once you touch courts, you change the face of a nation. So it's so important that we are seeing many failed states in Africa, and these things they did not happen for granted. It's little twinkling here and there of constitutions that have brought them.
There is a balance between religion and human rights of certain groups, and I think the right of minorities must be upheld in a country that aspire to be a modern country, a country that is inclusive, a country that is a democracy, a country that is coming from a very dark past. I think we need to move away from any rules that will infringe on other people's rights. But of course, our religions are important, our cultures, and all those things must be in the fore, because people without faith, without culture, I think are nothing.
We gather here to call those that have the responsibility to ensure that we have a new constitution do what is right by Gambia this time. And we are here to discuss. We are here to come to address the issues at hand and to come as one nation to see whether it is possible in this year, as the president had promised, to have a new constitution for the Gambia.
I want to recognize the effort of the government and the statement that the Minister of Justice has stated on 25th of May 2024 that hopefully the constitution will be gazetted before the end of June. This is a remarkable step which we encourage, and as civil society we are here to complement that process, and that is the reason why we also having this conversation as agents of the people representing the society and the people that really matter.
We are cognizant of the important role that Parliament plays in getting us this fundamental document that we all yearn for as a Gambia. And rest assured that there is 100% commitment from the National Assembly to make sure that the Constitution gets through the due process within Parliament. And of course, after the passage of the Constitution as well, we'll make sure we play our part in safeguarding and preserving the Constitution that we all voted for.